Okay, hello. I'm starting up the stream. I'm just getting one final thing set up and we'll be ready to start. If you can hear me, can you tell me how I sound? And also the game audio, if you can hear it. Okay, so where we left off was due to some technical issues, we weren't able to finish the trial day for the first day of this case. So we're going to be continuing that. I could give a recap once we go inside, so I can look at all the evidence. Yeah, let me give a recap. Okay, so yeah, okay. I think what Iris says will give a good recap of what's been going on in the trial so far. But right now we're playing as Mr. Edgeworth, Miles Edgeworth, because Phoenix Wright earlier accidentally fell down a bridge and he got hospitalized because he fell down a bridge and into a river. But thankfully he was not seriously injured, but he did come down with a cold. So right now, Phoenix asked Miles to represent Iris as a defense attorney. So that's why we're playing as Miles. Alright. So, I think what Iris will say... Well, actually, let me give, like, a brief... Let's look at the profiles. So Phoenix, currently hospitalized. Gumshoe, the boy. So Maya. So the reason Phoenix tried crossing the bridge was because Maya was on the other side of the bridge at this place called the Inner Temple for spiritual training, but now she's trapped there because the bridge is broken down because it was on fire, got struck by lightning. This is Pearl, Maya's cousin, was apparently with the victim at the time of the crime, currently missing. The victim is this person, Elise. I don't even know how to say her last name. It might be Dunim or Diaxnim. I don't know. Victim of this incident, a picture book author of unknown age, Larry's teacher. This is Larry Butts. He's somehow part of this. This is Iris, the defendant, a nun from Hazakura Temple. Apparently doesn't have any spiritual power. This is Bikini, the head nun. This is the current prosecutor right now. And yeah. So let's look at the other evidence. See, this is supposedly the apparent murder weapon. Has the victim's blood and the suspect's fingerprints on it. Note to Iris. Found in the main hall. Maybe she dropped it. What else? It sounds like a blackmail letter. We found out that Larry tried writing it to her to get her to go to the Heavenly Hall, which is a place in between the Hazakura Temple and the Inner Temple, which is right by the bridge. He wrote salutation here because, you know, he's Larry. And then he said, there's something I must talk to you about. I'll be waiting for you tonight. At 10 at Heavenly Hall, make sure you come unless you want your secret to be exposed. There is no secret. He just was trying to say the secret of their love. It sounds like a blackmail letter, but it's supposed to be a love letter, you know, Larry. Anyways, this is the crime photo. Look at that. Yeesh. What else? So this was a point in the trial that was argued, that someone might have used a snowmobile, but during the time of the murder, it was snowing, and it was like a whole thing. I actually don't want to do it right now. Releases autopsy report, time 10 to 11 p.m. Cause, loss of blood from stab in the back. Body fell 10 feet after the death. So, for some reason, got stabbed from the back. That was the cause of death. But then afterwards, body fell 10 feet after death. Excuse me. Iris's testimony. This is her alibi. Rang lights out bell at 10 p.m. and was then in her room until the murder was discovered. So that's Iris's alibi. Our defendant. This is a photo of Elise, the book author. Look at that. She has her book, The Magic Bottle, and she even has a staff. Pretty cool, right? She looks like a wizard. This was the weather data. Let's look at this. Eagle Mountain weather data for February 7th. Snow with occasional lightning strikes. Imagine that. Snow 7 to approximately 10:50. Lightning 10 to approximately 11. And the murder was from 10 to 11. Lightning struck at Dusky Bridge at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. Alright. This is Iris's hood. Received before the lights out bell the night of the crime. She gave this to Phoenix on the night of the murder, before he went to the bridge, supposedly to protect from evil spirits. This is a hanging scroll, shows Misty Faye, master of the Korean technique. Let's look at this. Pretty cool, right? What else? Here's a map. So here's Hazakura Temple. This is all the way to the bridge, right here, the bridge. This is the inner temple. And then right here is Heavenly Hall. Like I said, in between the two places, right by the bridge. This is where Phoenix fell, by the way. You tried crossing the bridge and went, ah! Alright. Hopefully all that gives like a semi-good recap. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, let's get on with this case. Iris. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not really sure what to say. Iris, we only have 20 minutes. Alright, right now we're in a recess. There are two things which I need to ask you before we reconvene. Alright, I'll help you in any way I can. First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. That's Bikini. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying. Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room, in Hazakura Temple. Very well. Second thing then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile? There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me. So it was you. But why? What made you go out to Dusky Bridge? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, these are called Psyche locks. But Miles calls them Psycho locks. Iris, I can't tell you about that yet. Yet? Not until her safety is confirmed. Her? The safety of the Acolyte. The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya. Alright, keep your secrets. Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Diaxonum or Dunum? No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life. As I thought. No psycholocks. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough. Alright, let's get it on like Donkey Kong. I'm so sorry. February 9th, 11:36. Oh yeah, and this judge is Canadian, so just pretend I have a Canadian accent when I'm reading it. He does sometimes say "eh" and "a boot," so I'll kind of say it in a Canadian accent. Court will now reconvene. Miss Von Karma, where is the witness? During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery. Suspicious behavior? He was sketching something, very intensely. Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained? He drew a terrifying woman, armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip. Bruh, his eyes. I can only presume that his intention was to capture your... Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Maurice Diaxonum, I hope you're ready. Get in here! It would seem that whip is going to see plenty more use today. Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Hey! I was just artistically... Ouch! You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist, training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in this city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color, viridian. Larry, this isn't an art store now, is it? I know! I graduated junior high, okay? Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it? Working in the fields? I presume he wanted to say field work. I hope. That's it. Thanks, buddy. It's kind of sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial, at all. I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize this mistake. Bright red. Or, to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Ouch. 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 Stop your pathetic blabbing and testify like a man. Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify, now. This is too much for me, man. I kind of feel like Larry talks like a surfer did. You know what I mean? I was at the lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy? Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony. I'm just a nobody. Nothing but a small, worthless man, aren't I? And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else? Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people. Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything. Every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy. Oh, brother. Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time. Okay, just checking something. Alright, what I saw. I was at the lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. Okay, now we know this is a cap because we played as Phoenix, and Phoenix did, in fact, see Larry that night near the bridge. So, then we know he's Cap. Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause all sorts of trouble. I'm sorry. But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction. Edgy, are you trying to console me? It certainly doesn't sound that way to me, the blue cap. However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create. Wow, you're totally pinning this on me. Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts. That's right, me in the flesh. Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents. That reality will not change. But what do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night. Testifying truthfully about this one issue is all I need from you. Edgy. I think I've finally woken up. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. Bro. I'll ask again then, witness. What did you see on the night of the murder? Eh? What I saw, part 2. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been about 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window, and Dusky Bridge was on fire! There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. Alright. You suddenly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burnt out. Like, almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know with that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. What I saw, part 2. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been around 10. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. Yeah. I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. Let's press this. Hold it! You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and then the bridge caught on fire. Maybe around 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is the small shack you were in from the bridge? Hold on. Well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk? And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare. Well, should I press him for a little more info? Why didn't you call anyone? Or why did you go to the bridge? I'll do why did you go to the bridge? So you suddenly thought to check out the bridge. Does this mean that you initially had no intention of doing so? Well, yeah, I guess it does. It was really cold. I didn't really want to go out there. If that's the case, why did you change your mind? I would like to hear your reasoning. In which case, please give testimony to that effect, witness. My reasoning? Okay, reasoning. Is it... I thought I'd never get another chance to see something so big burning. Another chance to see something so big burning? does that even mean? What if we did the other option? Let's see if we could do the other option. I don't think that's anything significant, that statement. Why didn't you call anyone? Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try and tell someone. There is a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? Well, of course I thought of doing that. So then, let's hear why you didn't. Huh? Yeah, okay. Reason. My reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later. I think there's a contradiction here. Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not. What the hey, Edgy? You make me sound like some sort of alien! But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time. I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct? Yeah. Well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less. I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45 p.m. You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there at around 11 p.m. That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act. Pish posh. That is impossible. What do you mean? 11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple. Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time. Excuse me. I have an objection. You do? Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry. I'm Larry. Ah! It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11. In which case, it could have been earlier than that. Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. For there is still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m. And why not? It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15 p.m. Which means what, exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night. In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down. Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m., but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you to stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes? I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet splashback. Ew. I guess I was still sleeping after all. Pinch me. Bro. Order! So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all. Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes and there is a phone right next to it. Why then did you not report the accident? Yes, witness, why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there, staring into space. This witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty. That's what it sounds like. Ah, but this is Larry we're talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction. Bro, he's sweating bullets. Look at his eyes. Edgy. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude. Just as I thought. You've been playing with us all this time. Listen, I'm gonna tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all? Yes. I may really say it this time. Everything. Then say it. Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this. However, let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness? Oh no. What was he doing? I'm a Diaxonym. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out, and then he came running up. I suppose artists can be strange folk. That's right! I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch. Including the truth, from the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts? Not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now? I intend to drag the reason out of him. Ha! 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 You'll regret this, Edgy. Okay. Alright, Larry. I'm a Jackson, I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. Sketching? The burning bridge? The burning bridge and everything that came with it. What came with it? You want to hear this from my lips? Do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. That sketch of mine is... Gah! Enough. Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant the sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there. We gotta look at the sketch. There's no other option. We gotta look at it now. Because we need to know what he drew. What he saw. Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please? Well, even I couldn't have imagined it'd turn out like this. Imagined what? That Larry's Daxnim's debut would take place here, today, like this. Ouch! Show it! Now! Okay, but steel yourselves. This is the world of Larry's Daxnim. Ah, well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct? Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma? Yes, well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames, I really did. Yes, I'm sure you did. This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object, bruh. Larry. What? The burning bridge is fine. But what is that unfortunate-looking figure? Ah, you spotted that. I thought you might. However much I might want to ignore it, I can't. It's Iris, of course. Iris. I wish she'd take better care of herself. We have to plan for our future, you know. What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? Oh my gosh. Larry, please, answer this next question honestly. Okay. Are you really claiming to have seen this? Are you claiming to have seen this silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? Yep, that's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist. A real artist. Are you high? The girl, she's really high up in this picture. Whoa! What was that for? This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. It was really something to see. This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to earth. What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? Accessory to foolishness, Mouse Edgeworth. Bruh. Let us get back to the cross-examination, by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well, what did you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me! Larry's sketch. Horrible sketch of what he saw the night of the crime. Bruh. Now, hurry up and cross-examine him. Bro. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the... I saw Iris flying. Her white hood fluttering. Okay, now that last statement, what he just said. Objection. Because she didn't have her white hood. Plain and simple, you know? Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 that it's the truth. Wow, a whole $1. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris. What? What do you mean? I don't understand. Ah. A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolishly foolhardy fool. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Let him know, Miles. Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this floating angel was my Iris. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. Ah, it seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Bruh. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of. On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight? What are you talking about? I think you understand what I mean just fine. Why? Why did Nick have Iris's hood? What? Edgy! What's going on with Iris and Nick? Why, you Nick! You dog! Bro. I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited, and discarded straight into the garbage. Ha! 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 Ah! What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy! Today is the day I get to completely stupefy you. What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definite evidence. Definitive? I said that wrong. Definitive? I meant definitive, not definite. Evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Maurice Diaxinum, shall prove it. I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality. Okay, hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm going to feed you a whopping serving of pain. You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me. Bruh. Proof that Iris flew. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. Bruh. A crystal sphere? This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. That sphere. Where did you find it? Let me see. Around here. Somewhere? Looks about right. And it was half buried in the snow? Yeah, it pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge. The court accepts this crystal sphere. That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward. There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood. What? Blood? Crystal sphere, found half covered in snow near Dusky Bridge, the night of the crime, has blood on it. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore. Didn't you want to be called Maurice Diaxinum only a few minutes ago? For real. This man wish-washy. Okay. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. No one else, eh? Larry. That night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere. There was? Who was a stupid idiot? Miss Elise Diaxinum, the mentor to a stupid idiot. The victim? I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere. Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back! Ouch! A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch. They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff, found at the scene of the crime. Ah, the crystal sphere. It's gone. What? What? Bruh. He's breaking down. Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either. That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Diaxonum? A fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly. Thus, it is rejected. You can't do that! I saw it with my own... And this crystal sphere. This is nothing more than a red herring. You honestly believe that? Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Oops. Elise Diaxonum was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all. Miss Franziska von Karma. The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns. Why are you pointing at me? Bruh. The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case? That crystal sphere, it was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. After the murder? There's blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent. Which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? What? All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case. She makes a valid point. There is no evidence that Elise Diaxonum left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? I want your final opinion on this disposition of the crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you called will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth. I don't know why I kind of went southern there. Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? I don't know. I guess yes? I guess yes. Alright. Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. Simply prove it. That's the only option. That's what he'd do. Bruh. That's my boy, Phoenix Wright. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You will do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise, because right now, I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered. Bruh. I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is it showing me the picture? Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. Dropped before the murder. Do we have evidence? I mean, if you see in the crime photo, her staff isn't there. Where was the staff found? Doesn't say it. But it's not near her body. This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. Snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Ah, so... Okay. I think I understand. Because the crystal sphere had some snow on it, so that was before the murder. But since there's no snow on the body after the murder, or where she's already dead, then that proves that the ball was dropped before the murder. Because there was some snow on it. Ah, therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. What? What? Order! 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 On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose. What? What could that have been? The sphere. There's some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard? Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool, and which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma?
Holiday! Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth?
The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Pish posh. That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body. That's the same thing! No, it isn't. You said it yourself. Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed. If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding. You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. At least Dangson's body was found in the Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? Uh-oh. I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is also perfectly plausible. I think, yeah, oh no. Now if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple. I don't like the sound of this. I really don't. Because the only one who could have used the snowmobile is the defendant. But that's the only way that, in a short amount of time, on that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. Huh. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body. Oh no, but the only one who had the key was Iris. Yeah, this is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You've dug yourself into your own grave. What do you mean? The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the fingernail? Oh, fingernail? Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin? Pish posh. You're too late, Francisca Von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation. What? Where was the victim Elise Diaxnum really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean? Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it. This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity, bruh. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. Because, oh my gosh, that's a bro moment. The defense stands firm on this point. Edgy, thank you. That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances. Where's she gurring, bro? Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Francisca von Karma, you make a wonderful partner. Excuse me? There was one reason, and one alone, for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright. Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Francie with me. What? Miles Edgeworth, I don't care about what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel. A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by. What a shame, Francie! This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all. Oh my god. I demand satisfaction. Oh my god. Oh, Larry's dead. He is dead. I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, Wright, my brother, my baby boy. What? Court is now adjourned. To be continued. Nice. All right. Okay, now I think part 3-1, investigation. February 9, 3:43 a.m., Hottie Clinic, intensive care unit. My boy Phoenix, I'm still up at this hour, reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case my mentor Mia Fey had ever handled in a court of law. This was the case we played previously when we played as Mia. The one with Terry Falls. The horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Dahlia Hawthorne. What I have read, I don't want to believe. What is written here, this isn't the Dahlia I knew. After falling into Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. But I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. I feel dizzy, my ears are ringing, my throat burns, and my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me with him. Somehow. February 9, 2:43 p.m. Dusky Bridge. Right. Are you sure you're well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face. Or maybe Viridian in artist speak. Actually, my fever has gone down quite a bit. How's your temperature now? Oops. Oops. I was pressing the arrow button. How's your temperature now? only 102.2 degrees. Nothing to worry about. Cough, cough, cough. Anyway, I read today's trial record. You weren't bad, Edward. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances. We're not in the clear yet. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon. Yeah. In the end, the Shishito did not deliver the deadly blow, which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about. Another sword, huh? Don't you worry about a thing, pal. I'll dig up the murder weapon myself, or I'll eat my coat. Thanks again, Edward. I'll handle things from here. Huh. That's probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit. There's something I want to look into. And that is? Our client's background, naturally. You mean Iris, sir? I had the feeling that we've met before. All I want is confirmation, one way or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you... I'm sorry, Edward. I bid you adieu, Wright? Take care. And he's gone. Guess I should get moving too. Why? Do you need to be somewhere? Yeah, I've got to get to work on this bridge, pal. I'm rigging something up so we can get across to the other side. Ack, that's right. Maya's still stuck over at the inner temple. But don't you worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, Gumshoe. Cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough. No problem, pal. Just try not to give me that cough of yours, okay? Alright, I'm off. Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out. I promise. But in the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence. Alright, we're on the move. Come on, please! It's for art's sake, I swear! There's only one guy I know who could be this persistent and high-strung. I'm talking about the heroine here. The heroine in my book. It'll make you famous. Ah! Enough. A fool's fool, what? A fool's fools who foolishly accept the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix Wright? Huh? Me? Wait a second. I know you. Ow! Your reflexes and mine need to shape up. My brain's frying like a sunny side up and you want to grill me over a name? Franzi, you can't do that. Even as we speak, Nick's out on the brink of death. Or so I'm told. Whip a dead horse. Isn't that one of your American sayings? No, it's not. And I'm not on the brink of anything. Come on, Nick. Tell her, would you? Tell her she needs to model for my new picture book, Franzi's Whippity-Whip Trip. What? Yeah. Before you ask me to model, learn to give at least semi-coherent testimony. And before that, you'll have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry. I don't care what anyone says. I'm telling the truth. I saw what I saw. She flew, I'm telling you. Whoosh. Just like that dude with the red underwear. Don't think I'm gonna forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize. And he ran away. Sigh. Off he goes. It's amazing how little has changed with you in the past year, Phoenix Wright. Well, I guess we're on top of this, girl. Have you been in Germany all this time? That's right. Extending my perfect win record, naturally. Oh joy. Sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met? I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I was in the last game. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Franziska was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. We're really getting backstory for Franziska von Karma. Her father was the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years. But now, he is gone from this world. Oh. Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me. because of what happened to your father.
Phoenix Wright, you will fall before me. This I promise. But it will be for my sake, not my... It will be for my sake, not my father's. Are we clear?
Yes. Crystal.
Crystal clear.
Yes. Yes.
Anyways, in truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading the defense.
Little brother? Wait, hold up. Aren't you younger? 26, 19. What are you talking about, little brother?
Edgeworth, come to think of it, Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manfred von Karma as well. Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you. Because it does. And that's precisely why I am here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-weensy pieces all the better. It's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile that it's almost kinda cute.
Oh! No smirking.
No whipping the sick. That foolish fool doing such a foolish favor for such a foolishly foolish fool. Edgeworth. Make no mistake, Phoenix Wright. I came here for one thing, and one thing only. To pulverize you. It's not like I thought you were here to bring me some Cold Killer X, you know.
What happened?
I went over the whole case file on the flight over.
You read the whole thing?
Yes, every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph. All the ridiculous things you did make it a very interesting read, you know. Attempting to cross a burning bridge? Did you even consider the dangers? No. The only thought in my mind was, I have to get across. A fool who doesn't think is more foolish than a fool who foolishly thinks. That kind of makes sense. Gumshoe said he'd let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's got to be okay, I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the inner temple that night.
True. Like, what happened? Oh, no, I accidentally pressed... Yeah, skip this whole thing, bro. Is there anything I can present? No? Not? I'm just gonna move. That was... Oh, that was a sigh. That was like a meditation thing. It's like...
Sister Bikini? My. I didn't know you were here. How are you doing? You don't have to pretend to be in a good mood for my sake. I suppose I've made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? I let Mystic Elise die, and then there's Iris as well. Mystic Elise? Now that I think about it, There's an acolyte stuck at the inner temple, and that poor little girl has gone missing too. That little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you? Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been seen since the morning after the incident. Pearls? She's missing? Why didn't anyone tell me about this? Oh no. I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself. Are you talking about your performance at the trial today? You believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar. I would never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull that sword from Mystic Elise's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least, I was until this morning. I don't see any psyche locks, so she must be telling the truth. So why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden? You know that artist who testified after me? I saw Iris flying, her white head fluttering. I felt like I might start flying myself. When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I had acted just like him when I was on the witness stand. I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble, and nothing else. If both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth, that can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw. Very interesting. Oops, wrong button. On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the inner temple, is that correct? That's right, I'm sure it was Iris. But Iris claimed she was in her room in Hazakura Temple. I knew I shouldn't have come back here that night. But because you did, Maya is stuck all by herself at the inner temple. I'm so sorry. The drafts in that place are nothing to shake a stick at. Winter is especially bad. I'll bet. The training hall looks like it's about to fall down any second. Eagle Mountain has always just been prone to earthquakes, just so you know. Earthquakes? Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall. We've got to get Maya out of there, fast! But still, there's really no need to worry. That area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island. It's like an island? How so? Well, the only thing on that side of the bridge is the inner temple. No one lives out there, and it's surrounded on all sides by the river or the forest. I see. So a criminal would be trapped should they choose to flee in that direction. And as long as the bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay there. That means Maya could be stuck out there with a murderer, and with no way of escape either. Oh dear, yes, I suppose it does. Oh my god, please, Gumshoe, get that bridge up faster. I know. I'm curious about a few things if you don't mind answering some questions. Oh, do you need to know my measurements for your investigations or something? No. I want to know a little more about the victim, Miss Elise Diaxu. I'm afraid I don't know her waist size, or her bust size for that matter. No, I'm wondering why she came to stay in a place like this to begin with. I mean, she told us herself that she wasn't here for spiritual training. My, you make it sound like this place is some sort of dump, Mr. Wright. Mystic Elise was here to soak up the natural beauty of Eagle Mountain, if you must know. There, you did it again. Sister Bikini. I noticed you always refer to Miss Diaxinum as Mystic Elise. Oh, yes. Now, why is that? After all, she's not here as an acolyte. We address all our visitors as Mystic. It makes their experience feel authentic. And anyway, she's older than me. You must respect your elders, you know. How do you know that? How can you say for sure that she's older than you? Uh-oh. Psyche-Lox 5? Are you serious? It seems Miss Elise Daxton was no ordinary visitor after all. And there's Pearls. She was with Miss Daxton on the evening of the murder, and now she's vanished. It's all got to be connected somehow. We need more info. Why did Pearls have to get mixed up in this mess? Please, Mr. Wright, I know you're worried, but try to keep it together. Oh man. My head's throbbing so bad, it's killing me. Pearls. She was with Miss Daxton on the night of the murder, remember? Yes, but I have a temple to run, you know. I was busy preparing for the training. I didn't see the little darling even once after we'd finished eating dinner. The murder. It didn't take place right in front of her innocent eyes, did it? Oh no. According to the detective, she hasn't turned up at her home either. Come on. Keep calm. There's one place left where Pearls could be. She just has to be there. Come on, Gumshoe. Tell me you'll be done with the repair soon. My boy Gumshoe gotta pull through. Is there anyone here? This is where Sister Bikini witnessed the incident. It's hard to imagine she was lying on the stand, so maybe there are some clues that have yet to be found. You think? You think?
They get quite a bit of snow up here on Eagle Mountain. Around here, skis aren't just for fun, they're tools for getting around. But she sled. Now that's gotta be for... But the sled, now that's gotta be for Bikini's own personal entertainment. Bruh, that's it? The staff is right here. Miss Jackson's staff. I definitely remember there being a crystal sphere attached to the staff. I guess Larry eventually found the sphere near the foot of Dusky Bridge, but what was it doing all the way out there? Good question. Good question. The Shishito. It's there in Mr. Kami's right hand. But it was proven in court today that it wasn't the murder weapon. Given the design, it must have been used for some pretty gruesome things in the past. Excuse me. There are a few of these stone lanterns scattered around this courtyard. Without the city glare to compete with, I imagine they would seem a lot brighter. I guess Sister Bikini must light them now, since Iris can't be here. Oh. Ladder? The main gate's on the other side of that stone wall. The difference in elevation is almost 10 feet. That's how steep this hillside is. And that's also the height the body fell from, according to the autopsy. Is it possible that Miss Jackson was pushed from the top of the wall? Yeah, maybe, bro. Maybe. Should I examine that? Might as well. I examined everything else. That building up there is the main hall. It was where we were staying. It sits kind of funny because it was built on a very steep slope. If you enter from the main gate side, these rooms above me are on the ground floor. Apparently, Miss Jackson was staying in the corner room. I guess that's where she was pushed from that night. Is there anything else to investigate? Anything at all? Guys, anything? No? I guess not. Hey! What was that jarring, inconsiderably loud yell? So this is where you've been? Keeping nice and warm, I see. Detective, have you finished the bridge? Yeah, I did. I told you I'd let you know. Well. Then I'll come along with you and... Sorry, ma'am. No unauthorized entry. Access is restricted to people involved in the case. What was that? I'm involved, aren't I? You couldn't get much more involved than me. Well, yeah, but that's not what I mean. Ah! It's been a while, Scruffy. Hi, it's Miss and he's dead. He's dead. Sister, please, leave the investigation to me. My. Well, you certainly seem to have everything under control. I am on your side. I won't do anything you don't want me to do. You don't want me to. As you work to pin the guilt on Iris. For real. What are you daydreaming about, Phoenix Wright? Ow, that hurt, you know. Silence. I, Francisca von Karma, will personally guide you through your investigation. So you will follow me. She's not seriously gonna follow me around, is she? Bro. Where's Gumshoe? Is he still dead? Gumshoe's dead. Well, I guess we go across the bridge now. Wait, is anyone... Is Larry here? ... Looks like no one's here. Larry! Laurice! I was sure he'd be hiding here. Guess I'll try again later. Alright, well, just make sure. Now we could go to the inner temple. We have to see what happened. Because no one's been here for like a whole day. Wait. What was the murder? I forget. I think it was like a whole day or two? February 9th, Inner Temple Gate. Things have certainly become a lot more hectic than before. They must have commenced with the investigation. Oh! Mr. Nick! That voice. Pearls! Mr. Nick! Mr. Nick! We found pearls! Yay! So you were here ever since that night? I was so lonely I thought I was going to die. When I woke up in the morning, I saw that Dusky Bridge was gone. I realized I was all alone.
She was all alone? It must have been very trying for you, little girl. Ah, you're... I am Francisca von Karma, the prodigy. There's no need to worry now that I'm here. You're the prosecutor who was so mean to Miss Maya last year. Well, I don't like you. You're nothing but a little girl without your whip. Bro. Miss Maya didn't do anything wrong, but you were so mean. We'll never forgive you. It looks like Pearl's words are getting under her skin. No! Why are you whipping me? I didn't even say anything. You didn't have to. The smile on your lips gave you away. Bruh. Anyway. Pearls? Weren't you with Maya? Ah. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Huh? What are you talking about, Pearls? I... Sick Maya! Oh my gosh. Hey, wait! Pearls! She just ran off. Ow! That was cruel, Phoenix Wright. To make a little girl cry like that is inexcusable. What was that all about? Pearls acting like that. It's giving me the creeps. I guess I'd better take another look around since I finally got a chance. Especially since something about this place seems different from 2 days ago. Huh? Oh. The bridge? You can see Dusky Bridge from here. It's an unusually long bridge, isn't it? I would say it's about 20 yards. I guess the gorge is too wide to cross with a piece of rope or wire, huh? Therefore, no one has crossed the gorge in either direction since the night of the murder. A simple yet sound deduction, wouldn't you say, Phoenix Wright? I guess... Look at all the... I was doing Francisca's voice. Look at all the Buddha statues lined up along this path. Phoenix Wright. Do you think this is how many siblings the head nun has? What? Why don't you ask her the next time you see her? You know what? I think I will. And she'll probably slap you for prying into her private affairs. I accidentally pressed it again. Phoenix Wright. What? And would you stop calling me by my full name like that? Was this once a prosperous port? A port? Yes, that middle hook is a mooring post for boats, you know. Oh, that. That's an anchor for one of the wires that is used to hold up the bridge. I think the wire that was tied up to this one probably snapped when the bridge burned down. I mean, there's no way there was ever a port all the way up here. Don't get smart with me, Phoenix Wright. But I didn't say anything. Bruh. There's a weird smell coming from that incinerator. The door is also open, almost like it's begging me to look inside. Well, well, let's see what stunning clue is concealed in here, shall we? Huh? It's empty. How naive of you, Phoenix Wright. But it's a bit strange, don't you think? Francisca von Karma? I seem to remember. There was snow on this incinerator the first time I saw it. In other words, someone's been using it to burn something recently. Listen, Phoenix Wright, it's impertinent to call people by their full name. I was only copying you. Yeah, for real. Here's your problem. Calling people by their full name, bruh. The sign says Inner Temple. I don't know how you're reading it, but it's incomprehensible to me. Actually, I can't read it either. Fanging comprehension isn't a very good habit to have, Phoenix Wright. She looks really happy to have finally caught me on something. There's a little gate that leads into the garden. It says no entry on the sign, though. Come now, Phoenix Wright. What are you doing? Let's go in. It's half open anyway. What harm could come of it? But it says no entry. Don't you Americans enjoy doing whatever you like and then simply say whatever? It's got nothing to do with anything. And who told you that?
Yeah, for real, bro. For real, bro. Come on now, bro. Oh,
What's wrong? Why are you so quiet? Maya, she was supposed to be in your training, yet it appears she's nowhere to be seen. What's that strange lock? It wasn't there 2 days ago. This whole room is really giving off some strange vibes.
well, time to examine.
This door. When I was here 2 days ago, that weird lock wasn't on it. Those chains, it's almost as if they're guarding something inside that cavern. I've never seen a lock quite like this before.
I have. I've seen locks and chains just like this before. They look just like the ones that guard a person's secrets during a psyche lock. I wonder if this lock is guarding something too. Dark secrets in a dark cavern. Very dark. What do you think this yellowish poster is, Phoenix Wright? It's a scroll, not a poster. It's a picture of a woman who's actually... A woman? I don't see any woman here. There's a different atmosphere in this room since the last time I was here. No, it's not a different atmosphere. It's a different smell. It's gravy. What's the matter? The scroll. It's been completely covered in gravy. Ah, yes. There is a very appetizing smell in the air. But gravy is a type of sauce. So when you run out of paint, you Americans use gravy as a substitute. I see. No, no one does that. For starters, it stinks. This must be the gravy that we had with the roast on the night of the incident. But why would anyone do this? Why this scroll? Hanging scroll updated. Touch to see before and after view under this check screen. Oh, you can see before and after. What took you so long? I thought even you'd manage to get here faster than this. Godot? Mr. Trite? Prosecutor Godot? I didn't know you were here. Prosecutor? How come you didn't show up at the trial today? Ha! I could ask you this exact same question. Huh? But I had a cold, so I had something slightly more important than a common cold to deal with. The importance of which is something you have no hope of even understanding. Ever understanding. Enough. I believe I have the measure of you. You are the very worst kind of prosecutor. What could be more important than a trial? Who's the wild mare, Trite? This is Miss Von Karma. She was the acting prosecutor in your absence today. Huh. Well, I guess I owe you one then. But you can go now, princess. It's time for the big boys to take the reins. Just who do you think you are? This case is mine. Hey, Philly, know your role and shut your mouth. I can't stand women like you. I'm only going to say this once, Lady Von Wippenberg. Go home. Phoenix, right? What are you hitting me for? Ha. You deserve more cracks of the whip than that, right? What? You still don't get it, do you? You don't realize that you've set something in motion that you'll never be able to undo. There's something different about Godot today. I'm getting such a strong sense of something from behind that mask of his. Is it anger? Or is it sorrow? Well, might as well talk with Godot. You had some important business and that's why you weren't in court, huh? So what was it? I've told you once before, but perhaps you don't remember. I've returned from the depths of hell to do battle with you. You see, Trite, I've experienced something most have not. Death. You died? Of course, being extradited from hell is a tedious affair. The meticulous regeneration and adjustment of all your internal organs is, well,
Let's just say modern medicine allows us all to live to a ripe old age. Even someone like me. So, you mean that mask you wear is this ugly device? I promise it's not a fashion statement, my unenlightened friend. Without this, I can't see your frequently dumbfounded face. I didn't know. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. Still, I keep this worn-out piece of junk of a body going with regular servicing. I'm sorry, but you say you experienced death. How is that possible? What happened? Why don't you ask him? Huh? Me? Yeah, Trite. You. You should know all about it. You know, when my life ended. And who ended it for me. Well, Phoenix Wright, do you? I don't know what he's talking about. Although, to be honest, I do feel a little tug at the corner of my memory. I think I do know about how Godot was killed. It will all become clear in due time. Isn't that right, Trite? Earlier you said I've done something I can never undo. What did you mean by that exactly? The inner temple here on the side of Dusky Bridge is an isolated island. That's what Sister Bikini said too. And I wondered, Trite, do you know what the police are doing here today? What do you mean? They're searching. Searching for any trace of an acolyte who went missing. Missing? As leader of the search party, I can tell you this with absolute certainty. Maya Fey is not on this side of Dusky Bridge. Huh? But that's impossible! She came here that night and... I won't say it again. The chances of her being here are nil. Excluding, of course, one very unique place. One? Where's that? The Sacred Cavern, the entrance of which we are standing at right now. This is the only place that the search party has yet to explore. So they haven't searched the cavern yet, huh? Be aware, though, that the temperature inside frequently falls below freezing. Even if she were in there, the chances of her being found alive are slim at best. No! Which means, Trite, that you sent Maya Fey to her death. You fool! If that's the situation, why aren't you in there with the search party right now? You must have blinders on, my equestrian angel. Don't you see the big lock and chains? It's a trick lock. I'm making preparations to open it as we speak. Well, Trite, once again, a woman dies because of you. Once again? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you've forgotten. It was only 2 years ago, after all, when the last unfortunate woman died because of you. Because of me? And do you know who that was? It was Maya Fey's sister. That's right, Mia Fey. Mia? You killed her. No, that's not how it was. Bro, what are you talking about, bro? It was 2 years ago. Mia Fey was pursuing someone, a man, but she bit off more than she could chew. She made a very dangerous enemy. Yeah, that's one case I'll never forget. But I got that guy, personally. Sure, Miss Fey's murderer was caught, but that won't bring her back. Well, no, but you were with her at the time, you and no one else. It was your responsibility. You should have protected her. You say Mia Fey was your teacher? Well then, I'd say you've learned nothing, Trite. You robbed her of her life, and now you've let her sister suffer the same fate. I haven't sentenced Maya to death? No! Bruh. What is this peculiar looking lock? Why don't we just break it open? It would be a simple matter of... I'm afraid we can't do that. This area has always been prone to earthquakes. The repeated tremors have weakened the foundations of the training hall. Any excessive force used to break the lock open would... Well, let's just say the inner temple and the sacred cavern would be a thing of the past. Very well, then dare I suggest the obvious solution of opening it with the key? Huh. Sure, just show me where the keyhole is on this trick lock. There's no keyhole? That's right. An interesting puzzle, huh? The person who set this lock is the only one who can open it. Then who was it? Simple. The accused. What? Iris? When an acolyte undergoes training inside the sacred cavern, their intending sister is responsible for locking the entrance. Obviously, the night of the murder was no exception. Maya Fey was to train it in there. Sister Bikini did mention it a number of times, now that I think about it. She said that Iris was left in charge of supervising the early stages of the training. So Iris, the accused, is the only one who can open this lock. I've arranged for her to be brought here now. Iris the only person who can open this lock? I hope she gets here soon. Hang on in there, Maya, we'll get you out. So, I should be getting back to work. Wait, Godot, how sure about Maya are you? There's no doubt in my mind. She's in the sacred cavern somewhere. It's the only place she could be. You'd better start praying. You'd better pray that friend of yours brings the accused back here soon. Edgeworth? Listen up, Trite. There's only one thing I want to say to you before I go. I'll never accept you. Never. Bruh. Why you hating? Why you mad? You should choose your friends more carefully, Phoenix, right? That's what everyone says. It looks like I don't have much of a choice. I guess I'll just have to do what I can for now. What do you mean? What am I supposed to do? Bruh. I don't know. Should I? Or shouldn't I? Sounds like someone's talking to himself. But where's that coming from? My boy, come shoot! Yeah, I guess I better wash that off. That's what I'll do. No, but I can't do that. I'm a detective. Argh, my brain. This is driving me nuts! Ah! Is something troubling you, Scruffy? Please don't whip me like that all of a sudden, sir. It was merely a simple greeting, a friendly tap on the shoulder, with my whip. So what's up, Gumshoe? Something on your mind? How did you know, pal? Perhaps you were trying to decide... Perhaps you were trying to decide if you wanted to wash that off or not? That's a typo. Perhaps you were trying to decide if you wanted to wash that off or not. How did you know, sir? Oh, yeah, I nearly forgot. You can't go through that little gate there, okay? You mean the one that says no entry on it? I, kinda already snuck in there. You trying to be clever or something? So what's behind there, Scruffy? Huh? Kind of, garden-like. Garden. A garden? Yeah, anyway, it's under investigation right now, so keep out. I'm not telling you. I'm asking you, pal. You got me? Isn't it normally the other way around? Well, see you later. So, shall we adjourn to this garden, Phoenix Wright? Of course. What else would we do? I really want to know what Gumshoe was thinking of washing off. Now I guess we go into the garden, bruh. Oh, 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 oh. There's a strange feeling in the air. I wonder what it is. Strange feeling? Forget about that. What's that strange writing on the stone lantern? Ah! What are you doing in here, sir? I thought I said you can't come in here. Don't you know, Scruffy? The lone karma will always show up wherever there is a clue. And there are plenty of clues to be found here. But... Sorry, bro. So how's the temple investigation going? We have the best forensic team in the world working the place. Forensic team? And what was the outcome of this scientific study? Nothing. Scientifically... Oh my gosh. Scientifically speaking, this place is as clean as a whistle. That's simply not good enough, Scruffy. Do you think I'll let you get away with that? Oh... Well, there were a couple of things that bothered me when I first got here, sir. That stone lantern and the surrounding area that's not covered in snow, correct?
They looked kind of fishy to me, you know, scientifically speaking. So I got the lab boys to look them over. The results were kind of hard to say, actually. I guess I better look into them myself. About Maya. Oh, did Mr. Godot tell you yet? Yes, we heard. He's got a search party out looking for her. There's nowhere else she could have disappeared to on this side of Dusky Bridge. All we can do is wait for Mr. Edwards to get here, pal. Edward? He's escorting Iris, the defendant, over here. We'll have to wait since she is the only one who can open the door to the sacred cavern. Oh, I think Mr. Edwards wants to talk to you about something too, pal. Oh? I wonder what it is. Just don't be expecting any good news when you talk to him. When I spoke to him, Mr. Edwards sounded so down, I felt I was drowning, bruh. Sounds pleasant. Let's examine. First, I want to examine this. There's a charm or something poking out from the snow. It looks pretty old. There's a leather cord tied to it, too. Apparently, it belonged to the victim. To Miss Elise Jackson? Yeah, there was a broken leather cord around the lady's neck. The ends of the cords found on both the victim and on this charm match exactly. Sounds to me like this little trinket is going to be my ticket to getting some very big answers. Alright. Now we have to investigate this. What the heck is that? Uh-oh. You spotted it, huh, pal? Are you kidding me? It couldn't be more obvious. It says Maya. Yeah, and before you ask, it's written in blood. You will answer all our questions now, Scruffy, without exception. Yes, sir. Bruh. Well, this is odd. There's no snow on the ground here, and it's almost perfect. It's an almost perfect rectangle. It couldn't have happened naturally. Yes, it appears as though someone has carefully cleared away the snow. No doubt it was you, wasn't it, Scruffy? Huh? No, it wasn't me, sir. It was already like that when my men and I got here to start the investigation. If it wasn't the police, then who did it? Oh yeah, there's something I need to tell you. Just between the three of us, okay? What is it? It's top secret. You can't tell anyone, got it? Understood. Well, when I was a kid, I got knocked out of the local wrestling contest, you see? I was so disappointed, I just picked up my mouth guard and cried all the way home. Man, I got in so much trouble when I left it on the couch. Is that it? That's it. God! Whoever cleared the snow away must have had a reason, although I can't even begin to imagine what that reason could be. What was that story about? I mean, thanks. Thanks for that interesting tale. First, okay, is there no dialogue? Yeah, blood writing. Maya. So these letters are written in blood? Yeah. What's worse is it's the victim's blood. Huh? This is Miss Jackson's blood? We haven't done a detailed analysis yet, but it's looking that way, pal. Most interesting. Phoenix Wright? I presume you know, don't you? Why Maya's name is written upside down? You know what? That was really bothering me too. But I just came up with the answer. The result of my own special gumshoe investigation. Really? Do tell. Well, on the night of the murder, that stone lantern was upside down! Oh, gumshoe. Ahem. Anyway, there's really only one logical explanation to this mystery. Miss Elise Jackson wrote these letters herself, in her own blood. You must be joking! That's impossible! From the writing in the victim's blood, and the other clues left behind, it seems pretty likely that this garden was the scene of Miss Elise Jackson's murder. At least that's our current theory on how the events took place. Pal. What? Well, I mean, makes sense, right? Makes sense. So Miss Jackson was killed here? However you want to look at it, that's what people are saying now. Then, what Sister Bikini saw in the courtyard at the main temple was... Well, what was it? If that wasn't the scene of the crime, what did she see? What do you think, Miss Von Karma? Surely your special gumshoe investigation would reveal the answer, no? But wait a second. The bloody writing and all the other clues here. Someone could have easily set all that up after the murder, right? Sorry, but that's not an option, pal. Why not? How quickly you forget, Phoenix Wright. Ever since the incident occurred, this place has been completely inaccessible. Because Dusky Bridge was completely burned out. That's true. It was burned out. I was overseeing the repairs to the bridge the whole time. No one came over here before me and my men. Which means no one could have planted all this stuff here, pal. I can't think of a counter-argument to that. I knew it. I should have washed the blood off the lantern as soon as I got here. This really was the scene of the crime, and I need to figure out exactly what it was that Bikini actually saw. Alright. So no one here. Oh, the main gate? It seems you have a visitor. Mr. Wright! Iris, I'm really glad to see you. Godot managed to mobilize the police by claiming a state of emergency. Not him again. Never mind him. We've got to hurry and unlock the sacred cavern. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. It's my fault someone so important to you is locked in there. Mr. Edgeworth, can we finish our conversation later? Alright. Let's hurry to the inner temple then. I'll see you later, Wright. He said, hold it! Wait, Edgeworth! I'm coming with you guys! Sorry, Wright. I can't allow you to come with us. What? I hate to be the one to break it to you, but Maya Fey is in a rather delicate position. What do you mean by a delicate position? This isn't simply a rescue operation, Wright. It's also an investigation. That being the case, we can't allow members of the public to interfere. Come on, Edgeworth! If anything happens, you'll be the first to know. Please understand, Wright. But it's Maya! Mr. Wright, all that matters is that Mystic Maya is rescued, correct? Listen to the voice of reason for a change, Phoenix Wright. From now on, consider anything beyond Dusky Bridge to be off limits. We'll be going now. Excuse us. Bro... This is no time to be standing around, Phoenix Wright. Aren't there other things that demand your attention? She's right. Thanks for reminding me. The main hall, I guess. Oh yeah. Sister Bikini, I think we have to break your psyche locks. Sister Bikini looks like she's shrunk some since I last saw her. Don't be so rude, Phoenix Wright. What's wrong, Sister Bikini? My. Hello, you two. How are you doing? Ha. The sound of that sigh, I guess she's still pretty down. Iris was just here, you know. She was accompanied by that handsome, crimson-clad prince. You talking about Edgeworth? It was just a courtesy call. I wasn't allowed to talk with her at all. Oh dear, it's all my fault that this has happened. Poor Iris. If she was worried about my back, would you believe? What have I done to her? Only what you had to do, sister. You bravely and truthfully testified about what you saw. There's no shame in that. And we'll see to it that your testimony wasn't made in vain. Well, I don't hear anyone else saying that. Mr. Blue Suits doesn't seem to share your opinion, I see. Huh? Glare. Oh, yes. You did great, Sister Bikini. Absolutely spectacular. Bruh. Sniffle. You two are the only ones who've said that to me. I can't shake the feeling that I just became a shill to a shrew. Do you have a problem, Phoenix Wright? Sure, she was brave to testify so truthfully like that. but I know she's still hiding something. Guess it's time to break those psyche locks of hers. Yes, it is time. Elise. Sister Bikini, the truth is becoming increasingly clear to me. I'm convinced that Miss Elise Jackson had a special significance to this temple. As to why she had a special significance, I believe it has to do with her true identity. What on earth are you talking about? She was... Mystic Elise was an author. Just an author of picture books. To be honest, I had my suspicions almost immediately after I met her. Oops. Suspicions? Yes, but I didn't have any evidence to support my theory. Though. But now I do. This piece of evidence proves Miss Jackson's true identity that we just found. Miss Jackson had this charm with her at all times. Where did you... This isn't some cheap good luck charm either. Then... What do you think it is, Mr. Wright? What could a talisman like that possibly mean? It's a talisman, is it? Interesting. Oops. This thing speaks volumes about who Miss Jackson really was. This talisman and one other item unequivocally prove Miss Jackson's true identity. Other item? Other item. Staff? Other item. This? It is. The painting's obscured by this gravy stain at the moment. Oh yeah, the symbol. But the symbol right here. This scroll. Wait, is it the same? This scroll shows the master of the Korean channeling technique. The crest at the top is a sign of that honorable title. It's the same one right here. The very same crest that adorns the talisman the victim carried with her. Ah, this crest is reserved for the master of Korean. Who on earth told you that nonsense? I've got no idea who you're talking about. The new master, Maya Fey, told me. What? What? You mean that acolyte is Misty Fey's daughter? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. In fact, since her eldest daughter passed away, Maya is Misty Fey's sole successor. Mystic Misty! While her chains broke. So the person who died was Maya's mom. Mystic Elise graced us with her presence about a week ago. When she showed me the talisman with that mark on it, well, I nearly fainted. No one had seen her since she disappeared 17 years ago, after all. What is the significance of this talisman, sister? Korean talisman? It's a symbol of the master of Korean. The bearer must carry it with them always until their death. Until their death? So Elise Jackson was really Maya's mother, huh? She was Misty Fey, the master of the Korean channeling technique. The truth comes out at last. Looks like we're making some headway here. Tell me, sister, after 17 years, why did she choose to show herself now? because something happened that called her out of hiding. What happened? Well, what's happening? It can't be. Earthquake! Ah, my goodness, the inner temple! This kind of tremor might... The inner temple? The sacred cavern in the training hall. It might very well cave in. What? Maya! It seems to have passed. Well, we can't just stand here and do nothing. Let's go! What? Where? To the inner temple, of course. Where else? Sister Bikini, we'll finish this later, alright? Of course. You run along now. People may have been hurt. I must get some first aid kits ready. Come on then, Phoenix Wright. They won't bar you from entering as long as I'm with you. Thank you. Right at that moment, I had the worst feeling in my gut. We just had an earthquake. Oh yeah. So, I wonder if he's alright. Miles Edgeworth is actually traumatized by earthquakes because an earthquake happened that caused the elevator to be messed up. And that's when his father died. So yeah, he's traumatized by earthquakes. You look worried. Are you thinking about Miles Edgeworth? Come on, let's go. We've got to hurry to the inner temple and... Right. Ah! What are you doing here? Grr. How could I have... How do you expect us to understand if you don't speak up? Yow! Hey, why am I the one getting whipped? She's gone. No! The defendant, Iris, she's gone. Gone where? She fled. She escaped. What? Bro. So, it was just now, during the... Oh man, he's traumatized. It's easy to see Edgeworth's one and only weakness, his fear of earthquakes. I should have known better than to escort the defendant alone. As soon as the ground started shaking, everything went dark before my eyes, and I stupidly passed out. That incident haunts you to this day, doesn't it? That's no excuse for letting the suspect get away. Can't believe I let it happen. Right. The inner temple area is a dead end, so she could have only escaped to this side. We haven't seen her. Then we need to get a manhunt underway now and search Eagle Mountain from top to bottom. Wait, Edgeworth, have you thoroughly checked the inner temple yet? Don't be ridiculous. Why would I? The inner temple is like an island. There's no way to escape but to cross. No, that's not it. Iris isn't the type of person to run away, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? Sister Bikini mentioned something when we were with her. She said that the sacred cavern might have caved in because of the quake. And you think Iris might have gone to the inner temple to check on the situation? Listen, Edgeworth. I'm sure she's at the inner temple. A manhunt is not necessary. Right. Let's not waste any more time. We need to get to the training hall sacred cavern now. Alright, let's go. February 9th, Inner Temple Training Hall. Fortunately, the sacred cavern hadn't caved in, but what we found was something none of us could have ever expected. How can there be even more locks? What is the meaning of this? Bruh. Iris! Iris, please tell me, what the hell is going on? To be continued. And you know what? That's where we'll leave it. I think that's a good place to leave it. Like a little cliffhanger at the end. Woo, nailed. Save your progress. All right, I think that's a good place to end this stream because right now for me it's already late. But very soon, probably tomorrow, I will stream again, and I think during that stream we'll be able to finish the rest of this case, the rest of this episode 5, Bridge the Turnabout. But until then, I will end the stream for now, and we will have to see what happens. There really was not one lock, not two, not three, but 5 whole locks. And Iris was just there standing like, oops, did I do that? Anyways, we'll have to see what happens next on the next stream. So make sure if you want to know what happens next that you tune in sometime tomorrow. All right, until then, I will be signing off. Thank you and peace. Good night.